Anonymous, what do you do if you roll with a gay person in training?
Don't get hard.
Welcome back to the BJJ Balance podcast. My name's Kenny, here with my co-host Matt. What's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's going well. It's almost Easter.
It's almost Easter. Now, if you are if you're embracing the Danaher lifestyle, that means you like to attack the legs. But if one thing you're doing wrong is if you're eating Easter bunnies, chocolate bunnies, legs first, we can't be friends. You better be an ears first Easter bunny eater. If you're eating them legs first, we got some problems. I don't care how much Danaher tape you've watched, how ignoring half the body. We don't ignore half the chocolate bunny body in my eyes. But happy Easter, everybody.
You attack the ears, you eat down.
You eat down.
Yeah.
If I saw a guy gnaw on a paw of a chocolate Easter bunny first, it'd make me mad. Now, this Easter, I want people sending me photos on the DMs of you eating bunny ears the wrong way. And look at you like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, video. I want you to do it in front of people.
Aos Nation, chewing on a freaking bunny tail.
I want to see your wife slap you in the back of the head for being out of pocket.
Just everybody will look at you weird at Easter. You want to piss people off at Easter? Eat a fucking Easter bunny legs first.
One day, this is loosely related to eating shit the wrong way.
Okay. First timer here. I put my nose on it.
No, we were having taco night. That's not making it any better.
It's not making it any better.
My middle kid was eating a burrito, and she picked the burrito up and she ate it middle first. And I looked at her like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
We don't turn it into an old spooky tree.
I don't know why it upset me so much. Maybe I grew up in San Diego. I eat a lot of Mexican food still. Eating a burrito sideways first is
get out.
Yeah. Or when people eat pizza with a fork, it bugs me. Or when people cut a burrito in half and then eat.
The only way I would ever eat pizza with a fork is if it was like, sometimes the cheese is just slipping off the thing.
Maybe Chicago style.
And you got to really cut it into it and and wrap the cheese up in the fork, because the cheese, the worst thing as a leader of the big man revolution, the worst thing you can have is grab a piece of pizza and all the cheese and toppings falls off and you just grab a freaking handful of fucking red. That sucks, dude. That sucks.
My wife's bringing home pizza tonight, so hopefully this isn't foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's brutal. You gotta let that cheese settle.
I got a question, and I've had other people ask me. I don't
6.5 inches.
How was the BioPro?
Yeah, so I started BioPro, and it's really, really been beneficial. About 10 days in, I really started to notice the difference. Hey, I have more energy to train again, or I have more energy to, just recover.
Isn't it like an HGH promoter or something along those lines?
It's like an HGH, that velvet deer antler stuff. Gotcha. It's got a lot of stuff I don't know. You just put it in you just a little shot. I put it under my tongue. I hold it there for 90 seconds, drink it down, and that's it. It's pretty simple. Set it and forget it. And then they also have a sleep aid. Okay. Which I haven't tried yet because I don't.
You don't like sleep. You've already.
I don't like.
Yeah, Matt doesn't like sleeping.
I was like, I'm not anything to help me sleep more, which I know would be beneficial for my health.
Right.
I just freaked out about that sleep stuff.
Yeah.
But the HGH part of it, I've been taking that and I feel great. I'm down 10 pounds.
No shit. I know DeBlas is on it too.
Yeah. DeBlas and freaking
Brandon McCaffrey,
Lovato Jr.
Yeah.
Everybody. So I was pretty stoked for him to ask me if I want to do it. I'm like, oh, cool, man. Yeah. So this to be with those guys, right? I mean, it was cool. So yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. And granted, I am on TRT also. But I messaged him that. I was like, hey, is this okay?
Right.
Because I'm already, boys already needle in the butt. You know what I mean? I don't want to and he said it actually helps. They complement each other very well. So yeah. BioPro. Yeah. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying it.
That wasn't a promo. That was me genuinely asking him.
But I am going to splice that.
Yeah, for sure. Now that we're past that, I can't afford BioPro, and they don't send it to me for free. So there is a stuff that I take called MK77 or ibutamorin, which is
the moron.
Ibutamorin.
Oh,
it's very similar. It's a pill. You take it. You take it 2 pills a day at once. And it tricks your body into doubling its HGH production. A lot of bodybuilders take it and whatnot. So it helps put on a lot of like lean mass. And I'm about a month into it. I don't think you start to see effects until like maybe 2 months in or something like that. Yeah, it's so.
I do feel, like I said, I feel so much more energy on it. The thing is, like, once I started taking it, I was like, all right, I'm not drinking soda no more. It's kind of like,
gotcha.
When you do things like crazy, like
if I'm going to make this commitment,
you start cleaning up everything.
Right,
So it kind of forces you to, like, it's like when you sign up for a jiu-jitsu tournament, you're training.
Right.
You're not taking days off. It forces you to train. Right. So kind of like when I got the care package from BioPro, I was like, oh man, I'm going to try this. And I cut soda and I started doing better. I started training more rounds and then I'm down 10 pounds. So I'm like, I wouldn't be able to do that if I wasn't on the stuff. I don't think it definitely has added more energy to me, but like, where is the weight loss coming? Is it coming because I've cleaned up my diet or is it coming? You know what I mean? So, but I do feel better on it. So, so far so good. I'm enjoying it.
Matt's been sending me a lot of videos lately.
Okay.
Of women kind of working out.
And that fucking song, that girl. Oh my God. I don't know if you've seen it, these guys. Like, I'm calling out the ladies on this one, okay? Like, and it's always the same thing. Middle-aged women will do anything but work out to get in shape.
Yeah.
It's these people are on moon shoes. First of all, maybe I'm jealous because I would have freaking rolled my ankle 87 times. And it is this one girl, ladies, is jumping. She's throwing like coins on the ground, like leprechaun. I'm like, and they're like just bouncing around on little moon shoes, like jumping up and down. And I'm like, I get movement is movement, but what are we doing? Just do something functional. Pick some shit up, set some shit down.
I've seen a lot of the mini trampolines, like the aerobics classes with the mini trampolines, or the ones that I sent you with the bungee swings.
Oh,
I'm like, are you on a sex swing? Like, what the fuck is this?
I don't understand that. Like, woo. Like, the only time swings was cool when they're not in the bedroom. The only time swings were cool when they're not in the bedroom was on American Gladiators.
What swings did they have on those?
Remember the guys that go on the ropes and they swing and they like try to wrap each other's legs and take each other down?
Yeah.
Like, that was the only time swings was really cool because I always wanted to try that. And, your boy was a laser fan.
I watched the American, there's a documentary. I think it's on
saw
Hulu.
it.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, fuck Nitro. Yeah. I said it. I don't like that. I thought
it was wild how they just picked these people out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like it was like a casting call.
Yep. Yeah. I was a big fan of those. The best.
What was the one where you have to like run the touchdown like 10 yards or something like that?
Oh yeah, and put the ball in the thing.
Yeah, and
that
dude
was
got
cool.
spiked.
Oh, that was so.
They were
good,
saying like there was like they had no safety precautions. It's essentially like turf on top of concrete.
Yeah, and
dude's getting suplexed onto it.
And then the guy with the gun.
Yeah,
shooting that, and they're
that was
shooting
my
the
favorite
thing.
one.
That was everybody's default favorite.
Yeah,
but like the football one was fun.
Or the Pugil Six.
The one thing I knew I couldn't do, and I probably still couldn't do it, was that freaking bicycle. The hand bike.
Oh hell no!
Hell no! You know how hard that is?
In my best shape, I don't think I could ever do
that. That
is
insanity.
Yeah. And some people would blaze through it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You see some people struggle
just drop. I would just go, and I'd fall and just run right away. I wouldn't even waste my time.
And then some dudes are like, roll the core up and just and all the way across. I'm like, dude, how?
But how tired are you now? Because now you got to run across the thing and then you got to climb the cargo net.
Right.
I know the whole map. You climb the cargo net, you go over, you grab the thing, you swing down, all the way down. That's what everybody wanted to do. Drop to your back, break fall, bam, come up, jump over 3 walls, the third one's the highest, and then 2 fucking bodybuilders miss you with giant foam balls, and that's it. That's the eliminator.
Yeah, they changed it in the second. There was like another season they added on.
And then breaking news. I don't want to bring them up because they're kind of under problems right now, but. Oh no, dude. Nickelodeon.
Right.
Nickelodeon had the aggro crag.
Yeah.
Do you remember Guts?
Yeah.
And that was like American Gladiators for me, because I wasn't old enough. I was like, dude, I want to be on the aggro crag. Plus that European lady, the aggro crag, she was hot as shit. And I was like all about that life. So there's a couple of those, like I really want to be in the Hidden Temple, Doom. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Nick Arcade.
Yeah.
All the...
Or you're in the video game.
The 90s was cool. When you could do the game shows on Nickelodeon and not get diddled, that was the way to go. Now, you know, you're going to get diddled if you're on a show.
You know, and maybe it's because of stuff like YouTube, but I remember like Saturday morning cartoons. Those don't exist anymore. I remember cartoons in the morning time before school.
Big bowl of cereal.
Yep.
The biggest bowl you got, half a cereal box. Sitting there watching Eek the Cat, Bobby's World.
Darkwing Duck.
Now here's a deep cut, and nobody knows about this cartoon. If you do, okay. Now there's my favorite cartoon is called Pro Stars, and Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson. Not many people know about that one, but that was my jam because I'm a big MJ fan. But there was and only my boy at work knows it. My boy Mitch, he's the only one who knows this. I used to watch this cartoon, and it was from the 70s.
Throw me a hint, and I'll see if I can guess it.
Red hat, beard, and not Santa. Rode a fox.
No.
David. I'm embarrassed to even say David and the Gnomes. You know?
No.
No one remembers David and the Gnomes? It's the corniest. It's the corniest. Pause this right now. Go to YouTube, type in David and the Gnomes intro, and then come back in the comments and be like, Matt, you're freaking, that's the lamest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's what I want you to do right now. Okay, welcome back. David and the Gnomes. Because, you know, my mom, very religious. So when I was growing up, there were certain cartoons I wasn't allowed to watch. Couldn't watch X-Men, so I had to sneak it. Had to sneak my WWF when she went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, because it was too violent. I just had to watch the Flintstones over and over. It sucked.
I was a big comic book fan when X-Men was out, and the cartoon, it was good for a cartoon, but it bummed me out because it wasn't as good as the comic books. The animation didn't look as good as the comic books, like the drawings. You know what I mean? Like Wolverine looked like fucking Uncle Frank.
Okay,
he did. There was nothing, but then Wolverine in the comics is like shredded and like.
See, I've never been a book guy.
Yeah.
Period.
Of any sort.
Of any sort. So I've always been like, so my MCU is what I see in the movies.
Okay.
And my cartoons is the X-Men and Spider-Man cartoon. Like, that's my comic knowledge. I don't really know deep because, like, did you know in episode 87 he fought the Hulk?
So when I was in like 5th grade, the grocery store shopping center by my house, they put a comic book store in there. So that became like a hub for all the kids, you know, the surrounding neighborhoods and whatnot. Because they had like a mini arcade in there. They had they had a broken Street Fighter where you could pick Guile and literally just move the joystick back and forth, like left, right, and hit the button.
Hey.
Left, right, not left.
My man's out here.
Left, right.
Hey.
And just hit the button, and you could literally, like, shit you not, fill the screen with sonic booms. Like, there'd be 100 of them on that, and you could beat the game in like 10 minutes with Guile. Yeah.
Who's that? Your favorite Street Fighter? Guile?
No, it was just the guy that you could beat the game with really easy. So
I was a Dalzim fan because I like to cheat and just hit you from across the screen with Yoga Flame.
Yeah.
Just, that was my guy.
Ken.
Blonde.
When I had hair, was blonde.
Yeah. It's
Same
coming
name.
back. Hair's coming back.
Same name. I did Taekwondo, so I wore a gi.
I did Taekwondo, got up to green belt.
Nice.
No. I also did Kyokushin karate. Your boy's been a martial artist. But no, yeah, I was really big into baseball cards.
Yeah. The comic book store had sports cards too.
So there was 2 different types of kit.
Right.
Because since I wasn't allowed for violence in my house,
Uh-huh.
I had to go to the sports route. So that's why I just kind of, at 8 years old, your boy cut off cartoons, went straight to watching Sports Center and stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to collecting cards and
right.
like I got an Nolan Ryan rookie card and all this kind of stuff. And I don't have those cards now.
They used to have a game where you would pay $1 and you would throw dice. And depending on what you rolled, you would get like different, like a mystery bag that might have like comic. It could be a cheap, shitty comic or an expensive comic but there was one, I think it was if you hit like double ones or something like that. it was a Shaquille O'Neal rookie card, which at the time, even back then, it was worth $100.
Baseball cards are weird. People who are really into it are kind of like have a weird mindset. They're like, you could be like a diehard said player, insert player's name, and but I got his rookie card. Oh, he's my favorite player. But when he dies, it's gonna be worth so much money. Like you're wishing your favorite player's death.
Yeah.
What is going on,
dude?
I love this guy. He's my favorite. But when he dies, oh, money.
I've got a buddy that's he's always through the years, he's collected different things, but now he's into trading cards. And he's in like getting stuff graded. And I didn't realize like how big of a thing that was, but he like sends it out to a place and they like grade the card on like, you know, condition and whatnot. And they put it in this like gnarly, like thick acrylic case and send it back.
And they give like a grade on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And he actually showed me a picture the other day. He has a Sean O'Malley card that's like holographic or something like that. It's worth like $150. He said he paid like $8 for it.
And UFC cards are valuing like that?
Yeah. Yeah. He paid $8 for the card. He said he sent it out. The grading was 15, so he's 23 into it, and it's worth like 120 or $130 or something like that. So he's like, it's not bad.
I wonder what a Stephen Bonner card's going for right about now.
Fuck.
So we saw some. There was I can't think of the fighter's name. I know she's pretty popular, but I can't think of her name. But she was complaining that she wanted equal pay for jiu-jitsu athletes for women.
I don't remember who that was.
But like I don't know her name. Sorry, but you know who you are. No, but like so, and then Gordon Ryan comes out and goes,
"Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Gordon Ryan responds and goes, I don't believe in that. And I kind of want to I kind of want to side on the side of like what Ronda Rousey said back in the day. Ronda Rousey came out and said, just because I'm a female doesn't mean I deserve equal pay to a man. She's like, I get paid more than most of the guys on the roster because people want to see me.
Right.
So I'm all about women getting that bread, but like,
become the draw.
Yeah. Like, people want to see Ronda Rousey beat someone in 14 seconds. There was like a good 6 to 8 months there where she was just like
starching people,
the cat's pajamas. You know what I mean? And she earned the right to make that money.
Right. Let's be real. There wouldn't be women's MMA right now if it wasn't for her. Like I think Dana would have cut.
Well, he created it because of her.
Right.
He said that he would never have women's MMA.
I remember that.
And then all of a sudden she was just too hot of a draw.
Yeah.
And, she put it on the map. So she's basically the Jackie Robinson for women's MMA. Mm-hmm. But like she was the draw. No one wanted to see Cyborg fight in the UFC, even though Christine Cyborg was the craziest girl fighter there was.
Right. I'm gonna go with what you're saying here, and I'm gonna push back on this random girl that we don't know.
Okay.
Is there any woman out there making as much money as Gordon Ryan in jiu-jitsu? Probably not. Definitely not. I don't think
anybody in jiu-jitsu is making that money. Yeah.
Now, there are women blue belts that have 70,000 Instagram followers and have like sponsorship deals from gi companies.
Yeah.
And then there are dudes, and they're just women blue. They're not like world champion.
They're just good looking girls.
Yeah. And I'm like, but there's dudes that are like phenomenal jiu-jitsu athletes at blue, at purple, and they have nothing.
Right.
So I don't know. Be an influencer.
Do you think it's easy? I'm trying. Do you think do you think it's easier to be an elite jiu-jitsu athlete as a woman over a guy? You think I mean, obviously there's more competition as a man. More guys are doing jiu-jitsu than girls. Just look at your jiu-jitsu classes. So just numbers alone, you might have more smoke, right? But some of these girls are phenomenal.
Yeah. The we've talked about the Helena Cravar girl before, blue belt. She's like 17 years old or something like that.
She has a last name?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that's how good she is.
Yeah.
Are you good? You don't have a last name?
She's phenomenal, and she's a blue belt, and she's not trying to post exposing photos. She's not trying to go the influencer.
No, it's
route.
all off jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think she might be the first one to get to that spot.
Right. And she's smoking black belts and competitions and whatnot, like when she does like a non-belted, like an ADCC open kind of a thing. So it'll be interesting where I think she's kind of the first of her kind.
Now, she's very good. Do you think it would be good for her brand to go into some male divisions?
No.
Just keep dominating the women's circuit?
Yeah.
Because like, what if she won some golds and something? Like, even if they're not like huge tournaments, but like she just has podium photos of her standing above dudes. Because I think she could do it.
I think she could do it. I think it's one of those things where if it doesn't help her if she wins, but it hurts her if she loses. Like there's, you know what I mean? I don't think it's beneficial. I don't think it would get her any more clout.
In NBA, there's this, or not in NBA yet, but in college, there's this girl named Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
She's a phenomenal basketball player. She's breaking all the records. And people are like, she could get some run in the NBA. Like, she cannot.
No.
But I'm just saying what it is. It's just a genetic thing. You're not going to it's not going to happen.
Right.
She will get tuned up in the NBA.
So, you know the, are you familiar with the, if we're just going between like the men's and women's sport thing, are you familiar with the show that's on Netflix, Welcome to Wrexham? It's about, or not Netflix, on Hulu. It's about Ryan Reynolds, the actor, and George McElhaney, the actor from It's Always Sunny. Mac. They bought a soccer team in England.
Okay. Or
in the UK, in Wales, actually. And they've put a bunch of money into like building the team up and like getting them from like a low level league all the way to a high. So anyways, that team came to the US and did an exhibition game against the women's US national soccer team. And there's an interview with the girl saying like one of the players on the women's team saying like, are you ready? You know, you ready to lose? You're going down, da, da, da. Dude, the men's team that was like, at the time, they're like 7 tiers down from like the main professional league in Europe. So they're like a farm team as far as, you know, like baseball would be concerned. They beat the women's national team, which is arguably the best women's soccer team in the world for decades now. 14-1.
We're testosterone thing.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, it's a testosterone thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking professional athletes here, not just your average regular guy off the street.
I'm sure Caitlin Clark come in here and get 50 on me right now.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean?
But like on somebody on the, you could have a team full of her and she's going to struggle. That team's going to struggle with like your average.
There's a reason.
Top 16
there's a reason
team.
Why shitty male athletes are changing their genders,
right,
to
and then
join
dominate.
Women's teams and dominate. There's a reason.
Yeah,
because they're one, pieces of shit, and then two, that's an easier route for them.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's just genetics.
Hey, it's just genetics. Isn't that? I don't think genetics should stop a woman from getting her bag. I think that like if you deserve that draw, like Ronda did, or like there's a couple fighters in MMA that I will like, oh, they're fighting, I want to see. Like,
right. I like Rose.
If Rose fights, or if Holly Holm fights,
yeah.
If you know, Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey, I had real interest in watching them fight.
Yeah,
like but you have to build it. You know what I mean? I feel like
you know what?
They shouldn't just deserve. They make what the big guys make.
You know, we were talking about this on the last pod.
But it happens for men too. Sorry, real quick. Dariush, okay?
Yeah.
He does not put asses in seats.
No.
Fantastic fighter in MMA.
Nobody cares about his story.
No one knows. He's just a nice, humble guy, good dad.
Right.
That ain't getting it done.
Right.
And like, so like, I'm sure his paychecks are not as big
as they should be.
Right. And it's kind of like he didn't earn his bag.
Right. No, I agree with you. And we talked about this in the last episode about like how we need a backstory to get us hooked and get us into it. And I think there really isn't anybody in women's MMA. Like nobody gives a shit about Weili Zhang. You know?
No, and she's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's amazing. You know, so well rounded.
I hope today that and I think probably in the next 20 years, we're going to have women that are like must see TV, give them the money.
Right.
But there's a reason why right now, almost every title fight you see, a women's title fight in UFC, there's another title fight.
Or
that's
they're on a fight
two
night.
dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a double title fight, and it's just a girls' title fight and a guys' title fight, or the co-main event for the dudes is for the BMF. Or it's like something, there's a big male fight on that card because just the women stand alone, it's not a huge draw. I can tell you the top like 5 or 6 women in MMA, but I couldn't tell you the 8th or 9th.
And sad to say, but none of those top 5 women that are in MMA, I don't think any of them are really. I think Rose has a story, and I think that they were building something between the Rose, her and Wiley back and forth, but that kind of died out, and nothing really kind of filled its place. Who was the one that just? Who was the women's champ that just retired, 2 division champ?
Nunes.
Yeah,
Red Dildo Night.
Yeah, but her story, like nobody cared. You know what I mean? Like she was good, she's dominant,
and that's part of the UFC's problem because they had a chance but they thought Ronda was the only one,
right?
And so when she fought Ronda got all that pub. Rogan talks about this. Ronda got all this pub for the Nunes title fight with Ronda, and she couldn't they didn't get no Nunes. There was no Nunes story. And Joe Rogan's like, this chick's a bad bitch. She's gonna put hands, and she knocked out Ronda. But then who's this lady? And then she just kept knocking out chicks, but no one knew who she was.
Right.
We knew that. Here's what I know about Amanda Nunes. She's an American Top Team. Started her own gym. She likes the ladies. She had adopted a baby, or she inseminated, whatever they did. They have a baby. They have 2 now, I think.
And that's kind of where it ends.
And then she deferred from her school. She deferred from her team, American Top Team, started her own gym, took a fight lightly, got beat, trained hard, got that one back, and
retired.
then fucking
it's
I don't know much about her backstory. I don't know where she was raised, where she was born, or grown up, or nothing. I know Ronda Rousey's though. I know Ronda Rousey's mom was a judo champ.
Right.
I know Ronda Rousey was in Olympics and this, and I know about Ronda Rousey.
Same thing with Rose is one of the things that I think it was
I know Pat Barry found her at 12 and fucking.
That's so weird.
And then that was it.
Yeah.
That's all I know about Rose.
Yeah.
She had long hair. Now she don't.
Right. But instead, I was going to say, I think that's a statement piece that she made that I think benefited her as far as her story and people taking interest in it. Because she's this really pretty woman, shaves her head off because she doesn't want that to be her draw, but it almost intensifies why you want to watch her. Oh, she's,
Conor McGregor scared her in the bus by hitting her with the freaking dolly. You know what I mean? But we don't know a lot about they don't put time in the backstory. Maybe I'm not looking for the backstory in the girls. Yeah. Maybe that's partly my fault. But
do you watch the Undisputeds or anything like that?
I used to watch those all the time, but now I kind of watch the embeddeds.
Okay.
Before UFC, because they're 5-minute little docs, and I just kind of watch the embeddeds up to the fights, and then I go from there.
Well, I don't know. I think jiu-jitsu needs something like that. I mean, we talk about PGF a lot, and I mentioned that to Brandon. I was like, "Are you guys going to do player bios and stuff like that?" Because I think that's important to building it and whatnot. And I think that as PGF grows, or if anything else comes along like that, if PGF is the building block to the next thing or whatever. That if they can do something that's seasonal like that over time, they need to put out these little 15-minute kind of behind the scenes training. This is, this fighter, has a wife and kids, and he works this job and he trains this, and
they just need to take that UFC model and because UFC can do it.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen some of Bo Nickel stuff. But
I'm
a Bo Nickel fanboy right now.
Oh yeah.
He's my favorite fighter because he's he's the anti-McGregor. He's American and humble, goes home, hooks up with his wife missionary style.
Cracks.
He has a freaking free roam chickens and shit. That's the guy, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
I love that he his on his social media, the things where he'll do the memes, and he'll do the cutaway where he's on a training dummy, dumping it in the ground or whatever. Yeah, stuff like that.
So I'm a big Bo Nickel fan, but I'm learning his backstory.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it'd be cool to see not just the PJF, Flow Grappling, anybody. Let's learn these guys.
Right.
So
I think ADCC should be dumping money. I mean, not like they don't have it, you know?
Right.
So you've got the ADCC is an invitational, and then there's like a handful of spots that they have open to trials. But I think over half the people are invites ahead of time. They should be putting money into all, like, take the top 10 guys or top 8 guys or whatever and do little mini bio backstories on these guys. Because ADCC is what, the end of this year?
Right.
Like, they should have been putting this stuff out already, like 6 months out, you know?
There's so many good jiu-jitsu guys out there. So many great jiu-jitsu guys out there. But they're all getting themselves over. Gordon Ryan got himself over.
Right.
He created his social media. He created his gimmick. His, you know, now he's his cars and this and that. And now he freaking, you know, like, we know when his car gets stolen. We know when, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, he created his whole gimmick. Now he's got sandals and he's starting a YouTube. And, like, we all know Gordon. Craig Jones, same thing.
Right.
He's the funny guy. He creating jokes. He's also a savage as fuck, but, like, he created his gimmick.
Right.
All those guys on B Team we kind of know who they are because they have put themselves either on a podcast or they're doing something to, like, make themselves. They don't have a company do it for them. UFC kind of makes a company do it for them.
Do you think that some of the Gordon Ryan, Nicky Rod stuff was maybe drummed up as a publicity
By both of them?
Right.
I think,
I
think we've said this before. Like,
maybe there's actual bad blood there, but they know that it's good for both of them, so they're just leaning into it.
I think it's got to be, right? Because they're in the same city.
Right.
And it's kind of like, do I think Gordon Ryan and Nicky Ryan don't like each other? Or no, I'm talking about his little brother too.
Oh.
Do you think they don't like each other? Do you think they're not getting together and eating chocolate, finding Easter baskets at their mom's house this weekend? Like, you know what I mean? Are they not going to see each other for Easter dinner?
I don't think so. I think that situation is genuine. I think the Nicky Rod, like, because I know that, like, I don't think there was any, like, direct beef between, like, Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan, but I think he just went to the other camp, so he's just like, fuck it, you know.
I think Craig Jones definitely leans into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he wants that. He wants that. You know, it's good for money. I don't know. It'd be curious to see. I'm definitely excited for ADCC though.
Yeah.
I just want to see what happens.
Well, I noticed too that there's a Danaher guy in PGF this season, and there's a B Team guy in PGF this season. That'll be interesting to see if they end up on opposite ends and have to face each other and how that plays out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. You got Shark Tanked for your birthday.
Oh boy, did I get fucking Shark Tanked. Okay. So I posted it on my YouTube. You want to see a dead body? Go to O's Nation BJJ YouTube and watch the massacre. Okay. So we have a group thread. Obviously, every school has kind of a group thread. So we have a group thread, and I messaged out, hey, 40th birthday's on Friday. I want to be Shark Tanked. 7 guys, 3 minutes each. Jump on me from bad spots, whatever position. Like, if I'm on one guy, jump on my back, whatever. Just nonstop, 21 minutes straight. Now I'm BioPro, baby. We got this, right? so like, I only posted it one time. And I was like, I'm not going to post it on social media. I was like, Poncho and all them are at Pants. I was like, this is the perfect storm.
Prime opportunity.
Hey, this is going to work out good for me, right? I was like, I'm post it once. Sometimes the classes aren't so big. You know what I mean? And Friday comes, and I'm just sitting in there, and I didn't say nothing. And then I see someone before the next day, like, don't forget, tomorrow, Matt's birthday, and Shark Tank. And he's like, Shark. And I'm like, all right, they still remember. That's not a big deal. Okay, whatever. We're ready for it.
Nate sent me a text message. Hey, I don't know if you're working tomorrow, but Matt's doing a Shark Tank for his birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I wasn't going on vacation last week, I would have called out on Friday.
And so I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there. I get there early because, you know, what I do because I don't sleep. So I'm there around 5:30 and I'm just chilling. Joey walks in. Joey's teaching the class. Everything's all good. And then I see, Yoga Aaron walk in. I'm like, okay, that's okay. All right. And if you roll over Yoga Aaron, which we're going to have, he has a crazy story we'll have on the podcast in the future.
Yoga Aaron just started TRT.
Why, dude?
Yeah. Well, you're going to be feeling it in a couple weeks. So
So why? But anyways, he's strong as shit,
Yeah,
and he can like suck his own cock. So like it's a real problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like a legit yogi. He's not just a guy that does yoga.
We're all stretching. Like, hey, stretching, and his stretches just look different than ours.
Yeah,
he's like grabbing over Shane, grabbing his toe. Like So anyways, Yoga Aaron walks in. I'm like, okay, and then Brant walks in, and then Big Sam walks in last, and like everybody who walked in
church
is over 200 pounds. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then okay, start rounds, and I see my line. And I immediately I go Wally, I go Church, I go Alex, I go can never remember his name. I don't know. I want to butcher it. But anyways, I'm doing good. My first 4 guys. But like I'm like around the 10-minute mark, I'm like, I'm getting tired. This is regretting this. And then Aaron gets me, wrecks me. I have nothing in the tank, dude. I'm just in survival mode. Aaron gets me. Brant gets me, and then I think I closed it with Big Sam, which is I should have closed with Big Sam because he's been one of my oldest followers from like my YouTube, and like so he deserved it. You know what I mean, shout out to him. And I had nothing for him, dude. Nothing. I couldn't even. People said they looked at my eyes and they could see like I was a different color. I was caught absolutely destroyed, and which is cool because I wanted to start something off as 40. At 40 years old, I was like, I want to start my 40s off by doing something hard.
Right.
And so I was like, let's set the tone for the 40s. You know what I mean? So it was cool to get mangled. It's cool because sometimes I Shark Tank them, and I want to let them know, like, hey, I'm not posed to, I'm just part of the squad. You know what I mean? Just because I'm the black belt doesn't mean that like I ain't about that life too. Come get me. And it was also, I think, beneficial to show them that, like, look I'm not afraid to take L's.
Right.
Like, majority of those guys, purples were purples. Purples are purples and blues. I don't think there's any browns. No, that was it. Purples and blue belts. And
Sam? Isn't Sam brown?
Sam is purple.
Oh.
But he's a motherfucker. Like, but anyways, so yeah, purple by 15-minute mark, your boy was absolutely getting mangled by purple and lower, which is fine. I have no shame in like taking L's in the gym because that's what we're here. We're at the gym.
Right.
I have been slowly getting my W's back this last week.
Fuck. One thing about Shark Tank is that
you know what I mean? Me and Brant got after it on Wednesday. There's one. I was like, oh, I'm feeling good now. I was like, I ain't tired anymore, bro. But yeah, it was been good. It was good. If you want to see me die, go to my YouTube, Host Nation BJJ, and watch me absolutely get murked. I just clipped a bunch of people's films because people were filming it.
Right.
And so
put it all
together. So yeah, I got tanked.
It's my birthday in next week.
You want to be Shark Tank for your birthday?
No. No.
Like they're like next 41. I'm like, nah, I'll catch y'all at 50, motherfucker.
Yeah. I was off all last week because I was on vacation, or all this week, I should say. And I was off all last week just because I was pre-vacation work, so I was working a little bit later. So I've had 2 weeks off of jiu-jitsu. So I'm rested and I'm healed. But I'm going to be 2 weeks rusty. So I feel like I'm going to get my ass handed to me on Monday.
That's good for you, man.
Yeah.
It'll be good for you. Get you out there, get destroyed.
Masters Jiu-Jitsu guys podium.
All right, I gotta call out the old dudes, dude. As now a resident old dude myself, it's time for me to call out the old dudes because look at your boy is 40, but I don't look 40. Okay, and like I'm seeing some of these podium looks, and shout out to Masters guys, they'll show up for the podium. The problem is some of them look 77. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to post a pic to my social media, and I got Bob next to me with a full-on white beard, glasses. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey man, I can't. This is There's nothing impressive. It looks like I just beat up an old dude. I know I'm your age. I know I am your age. But can we dye the beard? Can we do something? You know what I mean? Just for men, it's been around. Clyde Frazier, Walt Frazier, he brought it. He brought it to everybody's attention. Let's dye it. Let's look young. Why are we trying to look old on the podium? If your power alleys are just going through, like, hey, I don't like. A lot of our guys on our team, we look young. We're masters, but we look young. Like these guys are still getting hard sometimes on their own. You know what I mean? Why? I'm tired of these old dudes in the podium pictures. You're ruining photos. You're ruining dreams. Like, hey, honey, look at my podium picture. Yeah. You standing next to two old dudes that look like they fucking sit at the driving range.
I flip Masters 3 next week, so it'll be interesting to see what
they look old. Like, hey guys, are we not trying anymore?
I mean, they're doing jiu-jitsu, so they're trying.
Don't forget your face. I got some white in my beard. I promise you, if it gets really white, if I have full white beard, there'd be no beard. I'm like, here's his double chin. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'm calling out the old dudes on the podium. Like, it's just some real, like, hey, we are masters. But so is Cyborg Abreu.
Yeah.
And he don't look old.
No.
The Rock is old. He's 50.
Yeah.
But he don't look 50. Joe Rogan on the podium.
56.
He don't look 56.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you have to be shredded like these guys.
Tyson.
I'm not saying black don't crack, first of all. I'm not saying you have to look old or you have to like physically your body. Right. You could be a tub of goo, whatever. But your face, man. Like, where do we gotta put the glasses on up there, dude? We have to put the freaking the you know what I mean? Do we have to go Clark Kent with the freaking white hair and the beard, holding 7 grandkids on the podium? Like, what are we doing? Like, let the people the number one spot. Now, you better be the number one spot. You know what I mean? But like, look young. We're trying to impress people on our social media here still. We're still trying to make things happen.
Do it for the other guy.
Do it for the other guy. Look young. I'm gonna Photoshop young face. Hey, your boy was called a meme god the other day, and I'm gonna take that now. So as a some random guy called me it, so now I'm running with it. So as a meme god, if I ever get a podium first place again, and the dude's next to me, now that I'm Master 2 or whatever.
Yeah, this is your last year, Master 2.
Yeah. So whoever's next to me, if you are whited out with the beard and looking old as shit,
well,
I'm photoshopping young dudes' faces on your bodies.
Or you could just do one of those like government documents with like the blur over the face.
Yeah. I'm doing something. I gotta like represent, like I'm still throwing it down like a young dude.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm calling out the masters on the photos. On all honestly, this shout out for being out there and training. It does not really that big a deal. But like, I just thought that'd be funny to talk about. There are some old looking dudes on the masters podium, and then some guys looking really, really young. And I'm like, hey man,
speaking of podiums, Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse. And what did Mighty Mouse say? And there was a lot of quiet no-gi guys on the Oast Nation page. He prefers the gi.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, and shout out to all my gi guys coming out like, yeah, gi, and they shared the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Gi. Because you know what? It's always no-gi. It's no-gi. No-gi is great. This, that, and this. No-gi in the streets. You know what I mean?
What I was trying to explain to somebody about why that was so impressive, I said it wasn't just Mighty Mouse manhandling some like random 6'3", 250-pound man that doesn't train. It's Mighty Mouse manhandling, or not manhandling, but like definitively beating another trained brown belt
in an open class. So he won his division.
Right.
Or he podiumed
in his division at minimum.
And to me, that shit made me sad.
We talk about that all the time. We talk about how that's jiu-jitsu working.
Yeah, that shit made me sad. Whenever I see a big fall to a small,
and he wasn't the dude was big, but he wasn't like sloppy big.
Mighty Mouse fucked me up most likely, But anytime I see a big,
So when the question before was Bradley Martin, Mighty Mouse, I'm 250, bro. There you go, Bradley.
yeah,
There's your answer. There's video of what he would do to you. Probably faster.
I don't know what the big guy could have done. He swung them around like a little kid. He freaking mangled them for a minute there. I don't know.
That was a beautiful
rollover bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Never in my life, Mighty. You ain't getting that shit on me, though. I promise you that right now. Hey, you might beat me. You probably will, but I ain't letting you highlight me like that.
Yeah, that was pretty.
I was like, God, you had to roll over. You couldn't just sink a choke in. You couldn't just baseball that choke me. I'm gassed. I'm on my hands and knees right now. I'm dying in turtle, and you're gonna roll over, freaking bow and arrow choke me. Come on, dude.
He's that guy.
And then you do a little jump thing afterwards.
Yeah, he's that guy though. He is the human highlight reel.
We would love to have Mighty Mouse on this podcast.
Oh yeah. I already tagged him. Mighty, let's get you on here, bro.
And we're gonna make a clip of this. Mighty Mouse, come freaking join the BJJ Balance podcast.
He's tech savvy too. We could do a Zoom or Discord or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I love shout out for the gi love and shout out for competing. Still like the pressure. There's no pressure on him. He's proven everything, and he's still that guy in MMA.
Right. Yeah. So. He's not even. Yeah. It's not like he's retired from MMA and going.
He's the champ right now.
Yeah.
Won.
Yeah.
Still doing it. It trains out of Vegas, I think. Not sure.
I'm not sure where he trains out of either.
But yeah,
killing it.
One of the goats.
You're not scared of getting hurt.
So I wrote this down in the notes. Is some people are when they roll with somebody, they're say, "Oh, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to be injured." But really, in my mind, I think they're like, "I don't want to lose." So part of my Shark Tank was like, I lost. Period. I got gassed.
Right.
And I embraced I'm getting wrecked right now. You know what I mean? Like I even mid-roll, want to see a dead body? Like I was done. A lot of guys are afraid to compete because because they're afraid to get hurt. They'd be like, I don't want to get hurt. It's like they don't want to lose.
Right.
And I think a fear of loss, a fear of losing is the big problem in jiu-jitsu. Once you can break that.
That's just overcoming the ego.
Even like I've said, even like the professors. A lot of professors don't want to lose in class.
Right.
And even in that Shark Tank, that was therapeutic for me to get destroyed by some of the guys because I felt that, look, now it's open. Like I'm not afraid to lose to my guy. Hopefully everybody will beat me someday.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's okay. They don't think any less of me. Like, man, I don't want to train here no more. I just beat the black belt. 15 minutes in, I had his ass. He was done. You know what I mean? Like I'm not it is what it is. Like everybody has bad days. Everybody has off moments in training. You know what I mean? Like there's days where I show up and I'm like, dude, I'm just not clicking. You're going to go back this week with 2 weeks off and you're going to see moves that you would normally hit. But your timing's probably be a little off. You're like, man, I would have hit that 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I saw it. My brain said, there it is. I didn't go for it.
Right.
Or now I'm not going for submissions because I'm afraid to be smashed because I don't want to lose.
Right. Like Brandon McCaffrey said when we had him on, watching a video that Eddie Bravo posted on his own website, showing him lose and him just not treating it like it's a big deal, like it's just another day. And then you've got Matt over here posting the video of him, in the Shark Tank, getting beat at the end. It's like, if these guys can do that and be okay with there's your co-signing that it's okay to lose and that it's just part of the learning process. I'm sure that you learned some things from that time where you're sitting there at the end of your Shark Tank gassed, thinking like, because your brain still works. You know what I mean? Your body might be gassed, but your brain's still thinking like, oh man, I could be doing this.
That long drive home where I couldn't feel the fucking steering wheel and the radio was off. I was thinking to myself, like, that tiredness one, I'm not experiencing enough. Two, and look, I can create it for myself when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the moment where where I took a loss, was where I failed in my head. It was like, what if your family needed you right then?
Right.
I got beat by those guys. They were all fresh. They beat me, and they all have good control, and they have the basic fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. They're getting very good. But there was times in there where I'm like, I'm just going to hold on. I'm too tired. I can't do that when my family's calling for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have maybe gave a little bit more. And like, to me, that's what I took out of that. Like, you kind of let the fatigue, you became a little bit of a pussy, man. At the 16, 17 minute mark, you were so tired. You were just hoping for the buzzer. You were waiting for the time. You could have nutted up a little bit if you wanted to. So that's what I took from that. Like, I always try to take wins and positivity from my losses also. So what I got out of that was like, you were a little bit of a bitch around the 17-minute mark. And next time, you got to think about when that time comes, when you're that tired, you got to really change your mind and attack even more.
Mm.
So that's kind of what I got out of that drive. And it was all day long. And like, people
just pondered it.
You know, people were posting videos of me getting beat, guys on the team, like on the thing. I was like, I reshared them. I don't give a shit. Yeah, there it is. Like, well, I'm going to post videos of me murking you all the time. And then now, yeah, you get your shot. There it is. Post it. I'm going to share it. I don't care shit. Like, it's a good learning experience for me to take that L. Doesn't matter if it happened freaking 20 minutes in.
Right.
Sometimes you're fighting for 20 minutes. And now what am I? Did I let my family down at the 17-minute mark? Sorry, guys. Couldn't hold on anymore. Cliffhanger movie where I'm holding on. Don't let go. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like where I was. My breaking point was around 17 minutes, 16 minutes. Around 16 minutes, I was done.
Yeah.
I tweaked my shoulder. I'm the fourth guy, but I'm like, I'm not going to freaking quit.
Right. Yeah.
10 minutes into my freaking Shark Tank because I hurt myself, and I just kept going, and I wasn't feeling the injury anyway as it happened. My adrenaline, I was so tired. I feel it now, but like, I was like, I just kept grinding. And then around the 17-minute mark, 15, 16, around 16 and a half minutes, I was like, I'm fucking done. Your boy wants to toss cookies.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're like, neon ballet. Everything I teach them, neon ballet. It's a very primal video. Neon ballet. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, geez, guys. Yeah. Put your fist in his back. Yeah. They were like all about it. Get him, Sam. Sam mother's milked me. Put his titties. Hey, Sam put his titties in my face. Had me a full mount. I tried to shuck him off one last time. And I was like, I just fucking, the one moment Sam drags me like a carcass, like they're just all over me, bro. Like it was fun time. My wife's like, I can't believe you did that. It's your birthday. What the hell are you doing? Like I busted my nose, busted my freaking.
But I don't think that's something that most women would understand. Like it's brutal and it sucks, but there's an enjoyment in it as well.
It was me saying, hey, I'm 40, but damned if I'm going to let this fucking make me be old. I can't be doing pussy shit. I got to fucking still say it. Like I'm going to start my 40s off tough. I did. And I definitely had a fucking tough day. And I went to work. I worked like 10 hours that day.
Damn.
Went straight to work. I was just like, brutal.
Yes. We got some questions. This is from Davis_MD.
For blue belt, how important is it to develop a personal game plan or style?
I would say you should start thinking about it at this point, or at least in my personal jiu-jitsu journey, I feel like right around the time that I got my blue belt was where I started to understand, like, okay, I have a decent half guard. I notice that when I'm rolling and I end up on bottom, that's kind of what I default to. And I don't just default to it and suck. I default to it and I actually have some success there. So maybe I'm a half guard guy, you know? Now, that's been the game that I've developed so far. But now we were learning some like De La Riva stuff before I went on vacation, and some of it started to click. Whereas like a year ago when I learned that shit as a white belt, De La Riva was one of those things where we were learning it. And I'm like, I'll never use this. This is so foreign to me. This doesn't make any sense. So I would say it's important to start thinking about it and to start to develop it, but it's not concrete. You know what I mean? Understand that it's very fluid at this point, and you're going to learn like you know a few words of this vast language. So don't pick your favorite word yet.
Right.
You got a lot more to learn.
Okay. To me, your body type will find your style. Mm-hmm. Your style will find you. So you're going to develop your style naturally, whether that comes at purple belt, whether you're a wrestler and it's already developed at white belt or blue belt. Like I found my lasso game because little guys would always say, "Oh, you're just too big." So I learned lasso to sweep them so they couldn't make that excuse no more. And I found that at blue belt. I could have found it at white belt. I just didn't know it.
Right.
So style will find you. Game plan is another thing. Now that you're a blue belt, now that you have the basic knowledge of what a round is, what sparring is, what the basic submissions are. Some gi chokes can be sneaky and you don't even know what the hell was that.
Right.
But some guards too. But like the basic stuff, you've got a basic concept of what you're doing. A game plan is something you should start working on at blue belt. Or whether it's competing, whether it's competition, and you're like, okay, now this guy does this, or scouting your opponent. Like I do believe in scouting your opponent. Every opponent has an Instagram.
Right.
If you find their Instagram is public, they're showing match footage. Let's look and see what collar that guy grabs every time in his match. Let's look and see what takedown he likes to go for. Why not? Why not prepare yourself? Some guys like, I just like to just go. I don't like to nut myself up. If the guy's doing some crazy shit, I'm to screw myself. If that's how you are, then I understand that. But for me, it's like, if I can get any bit of knowledge off somebody, I'm going to try to take it. Right. So even though I say I don't want to look at it, I always go look. And fortunately for me, I might have them following me.
Right.
So it really pays off. But also to them, they have a lot of video on me.
Tons.
And what I like to do, and what leg doesn't work, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
you
it's
got
like
hours of Matt talking about how his right leg is his bad knee.
So. Yeah, it's real bad. So like developing a game plan at blue belt is where you should start thinking about like, yeah, okay, if I get to the spot, I'm going to do this. If I get to this certain spot, if I get taken down, I'm going to here. You should,
is that going into roles too with like a, like today I need to hit this. So you just keep fighting for that. Like you may pass up other submissions that are there because you're really working to get the one thing.
If you're really trying to work on the one thing, then yes, I've said like definitely don't be afraid to lose trying to go for some stuff.
Right.
But taking what they give you, that is jiu-jitsu also. So like, yeah, I would love to hit a flying armbar and put it in the highlights.
Right.
But that's not going to be there every time. I'm just going to take what they give me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like taking what they give you, but like a game plan, like I give privates this morning. I try to teach game plan. You get taken down, we get here. You go here, you get there. They get to this body lock, we do this. I'm trying to keep like a game plan for every bad position there was. Because if you're ready for the bad spots, you'll flourish in your good spots.
There you go, Davis MD.
There you go, Davis. DJ and BJJ Pod. Follow them, like them, subscribe.
Have you guys ever done the whole 10th planet LSD shroom culture?
Boy, no. No, I took DARE when I was in 5th grade. And
he's from England. He's not going to understand what the hell that is.
DARE to keep kids off drugs. And I have never done any of the drugs. So yeah, no, I have not. I did get contact high one time in a hotel party. And my cousin was like, "Well, you're right, man." I'm like, "Whoa, dude." And he's like, "We got to get you out of here." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And like, he Forrest Gumped me and put me on the bus like Jenny did that one time and fucking set me on my way. I was like, "Whoa, dude." We're just trying to hang out with a couple birds. You know what I mean? And, BC, I say BC, that means before Corinne. Corinne is my wife. So like half pipe story, that was BC.
Yeah. I have. I actually started at a 10th Planet gym, and not during my 10th Planet time, but I for a while I was microdosing mushrooms, like daily, and I still do it, but my mushroom guy disappeared. So, if anybody knows a guy in the area,
we're asking for drug dealers on the podcast. This is what we've come to.
it's decriminalized, Matt.
Okay, all right. Oh, dude, we're gonna use our platform to gay. Any of you guys out there sell drugs? Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah. So we are.
Hey,
I microdosing mushrooms. I enjoyed it. It was it gave me a sense of clarity like throughout the day. Very aware, very alert.
Isn't it from cow shit? Are mushrooms from shit?
Yeah, psilocybin. Yeah.
All right, party on, dude.
That's how you find them. You flip cow patties over after the rain. I hear. I've never hunted for mushrooms, but so yeah, I used to do that.
I like
I used to smoke weed before class too. When I first started with Poncho at Dan Hendo's, I used to hit like a little vape, like a hybrid. It was a Gorilla Glue, which is like a indica sativa hybrid. And it would help me focus. Like I would get to the mat and I wouldn't think about anything other than what I was learning right then and there. It wasn't like a fucked up high where you're just like, out of your fucking gourd, but it was just like, I was just high enough to just focus on jiu-jitsu. I didn't think about my work day. I didn't think about anything that was going on leading up to getting to jiu-jitsu. It was just like, just focused on what was going on in front of me, So it kind of made focusing easier, which was weird.
I do like mushrooms on my pizza. I don't know.
I'm a fan as well.
To me, jiu-jitsu's always kind of been that for me, or whatever sport I'm in. When I'm playing that sport, I'm not thinking about anything. So I've never taken drugs besides performance enhancing drugs. And so I couldn't tell you if it would help me or not. So I can't really talk on it. So,
yeah.
But, hey, if that's what you do, man, get after it. Mushroom up, dude. We're going to be on a podcast. Me and Kenny are going to Vegas and I'm driving and we're podcasting live during the trip up there. Mushroom up, dude. Let's see what this, let's light this fucking candle, dude. Your big old eyes and shit. Let's light this fucking candle.
Oh, damn. Yeah. So we're going to, at the end of this coming month, we're going to be heading to Vegas.
Yeah. We got to book hotels.
Yeah. Well, we set up a suite. We're going to record a pod off the phone, but with individual mics, and it'll be neat. And we'll do one on the drive back.
Little carpool karaoke, a whole thing, dude. It's going down.
Yeah. It's going to be a blast. So that'll be an interesting episode.
It will. What else we got? Good question.
Mark leg action, sit guard, butt scoot, or wrist lock the whole world.
I mean, if those are the choices,
I'm wrist locking everybody.
We're not. I'm sitting guard. I'm not a guard guy, but fuck wrist lockers, dude. You fucking assholes.
Matt's taking a stance.
I'm taking a stand on the wrist lockers, dude. You know what? Like, I see this one. Have you seen that one video where the guy just like winds it, wraps around, wraps the guy's arm up in the guy's gi?
Yes.
I'm like, dude.
I think they were blue belts too.
Yeah, and he's just like, woo, woo. I'm like, come on,
he like
bro.
Grabbed the collar and then like took the.
He reached over and then like kind of started spinning.
And then like spun, yeah.
I'm like, hey man, I ain't seen a fucking someone spin like that since pole dancing class. What are we doing? Break the poor little guy's arm off.
Yeah.
Look like a fucking G.I. Joe when the thumbs got broken off. I'm like, yeah, I got wrist locked really bad, broke my wrist.
Did you really?
In a wrist lock. And I didn't tap. I just let it go. I let it break. And my wrist still fucking hurts. And I was like, and it was just in sparring.
Yeah.
It wasn't even in a tournament.
Well, that's why Matt has some hate.
And I'm like, you know what? I could have just literally avoided all that by tapping. And I said, no.
You got.
I got. From close guard, wrist locked me. Bitch.
Danny Wayne, 88-14. Do you think Professor Matt could take on Chuck Norris in his prime?
Charlie Norris?
I don't know if Danny knows this, but so Danny is brown belt Danny, dedicated. I don't know if Danny knows this, but Chuck Norris has actually been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since like the 90s. So
my boy Charlie Norris is one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a old school martial arts movie guy. Big fan. I'm way bigger than Charlie.
How big is he?
He's probably like 5'8". He's
Really?
He's a little guy. He's like little, light in the pants, heavy in the dick is what I hear. But anyways, right now I'm fucking up Chuck Norris. He's 80.
Yeah. Chucky
in his prime, with all due respect, I would never say I could beat Chuck Norris. He is one of the greatest he could be the greatest American martial artist who ever existed.
Or
he's got like 14 black belts in different arts.
Yeah, he's
a fucking meme. No, I would lose to Chuck Norris. Period. I'm not even gonna. No,
just straight Bushido.
The gods would not let me say it. Chuck Norris would fucking whoop my ass. I did love that movie Sidekicks though. That was my favorite one. I used to watch Walker Texas Rangers too. He always spinning kick somebody through a sliding glass door or some shit every time.
Yeah.
And then Sidekicks, where that little kid that had like autism or something.
I think that kid's dead now.
Did he die?
Yeah.
And he's like, climb the rope. And he's like climbing the rope next to him. That was my shit, dude.
I think that kid died from like a drug overdose.
Wasn't that the kid in Ladybugs too?
Yep. I think that kid died from a drug overdose.
That was a good movie too, Ladybugs. See, look at
with fucking
dudes going into women's sports and dominating. Bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about this last week, but there's been a lot of man over talk.
Yeah. Hey, guys, I'm down for it, but I ain't gonna pay $6,000.
Yeah, Monty needs to calm down with the fucking.
Monty's like, I got a guy. He's in wine country. $6,000 a night.
It's going to water slide.
I was like, hey, for $6,000 a night, there better be girls there. And her nickname better be the water slide. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna $6,000.
$6,000.
I was like,
even if you split that up, that's still, let's say 10 dudes. That's $600. That's fucking insane. No.
For one night?
No. And that's just for the fucking place.
Yeah.
Then you got to buy everything else to go with it. Yeah. Terrible.
But I am down. And then Jiu-Jitsu Aaron's like, I got a place. It's a camp, has a bunch of little sheds on it. And we could go there. And I'm like, hey, man, that sounds sketchy. Hey, when he says, hey, I've heard some of his stories. I'm like, hey, man, let's.
Yeah. We're going to wake up. There's just going to be a fucking fight club going on in the middle of the.
Yeah. No, we'll pass.
Yeah.
We got to get a nice little location to get something going, though. That'd be fun. What if we created the BJJ Balance Man over and it became like some huge thing? And then we come back to this very clip and be like, that was the origins of it.
Yeah.
And it becomes something and eventually becomes like the BJJ Man over cruise. And it's like turns into like a weekend cruise of like dudes and jiu-jitsu and fucking, we just like create some crazy like vacation spot for people to do like jiu-jitsu. And
I know there's already like jiu-jitsu retreats, but this is like a different thing.
Like we're gonna have like some wild shit on there.
Yeah,
like
it's like a jiu-jitsu retreat, but like slash.
We're gonna play Call of Duty too.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be like, we have like stand up comedy and like it's not gonna be just jiu-jitsu based. This is something you can do if you want.
Yeah,
but really we're just trying to escape and be 12 again.
There needs to be an obstacle course.
But fuck the fucking
no hand bike.
No hand bike.
No hand bike.
No hand bike. For sure.
Katano 636 got promoted. Now I suck. Every promotion feels like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. Is this normal?
Your belt is heavy. And there's okay with having a heavy belt. You got promoted. Now you're new level. All the guys lower than you want your ass. And everybody that is now with you, whatever belt you have acquired, you don't say, is now trying to give you that smoke because they were either taking a little light on you or they were not going as hard on you. So yeah, so it happens. It's normal. When I got my black belt, I felt like, oh crap, I can't lose a freaking position anymore.
Right.
Like I was completely opposite of how I think now. I was like, I can't even let someone open my guard anymore. Like, because I'm a black belt.
Right.
And like this, screw all that noise. You are what you are. Whatever your professor promotes you to, that's the belt you are, especially if your professor is legit. So just embrace it. If you are a blue belt, there are going to be white belts that still beat you.
Yeah.
You're just, you've only been doing it for 2 years. There's going to be stud athletes that come in and give you problems. If you're a little light in the pants and you're lower weight, bigger guys are going to give you trouble. Doesn't matter if they're a lower belt or not. And, just evolve with the sport. Don't dwell on your wins or losses. You are the belt that you are. You do deserve that you have it if you got promoted to it. And just stay in the fight.
Well said, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Leg Action.
Wait, was that his last name?
No.
Or does he like leg action?
No, his last name is Legak. One private a week for life. Marcelo Garcia or Jean-Jacques Machado? I'm saying Marcelo.
I would probably say Marcelo too. And all respect to Jean-Jacques. But those Machados be freaking giving out belts like candy to them celebrities sometimes. Yeah. And my boy Charlie Norris, he's a fucking Jean-Jacques Machado black belt.
Is he really?
He's a Machado brother black belt. And he helped buy their first school.
Oh, no shit.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris is a G, dude.
Yeah.
So I would go Marcelo also because there's some stuff in his game that's so impressive. Like, he's probably the ultimate giant killer.
Yeah.
So, and he's one of the GOATs. And I'm not saying Jean-Jacques isn't. The guy's got a red on his belt, and it's not just a bar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
right.
He's the Machado. They're freaking, I think they're cousins to the Gracies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those guys, but I would probably choose Marcelo Garcia myself.
Yeah. Marcelo has some just super interesting chokes and stuff like that. Not that Jean-Jacques doesn't. I think if I was really into no-gi, maybe I'd go Jean-Jacques just because he is very grip focused and
right.
not.
But he only got one hand.
Right. So he had to adapt it that way.
Right.
But I think Marcelo I have an immense amount of respect for both of them, but Marcelo is just in my eyes.
I met Marcelo Garcia one time at Carlson Gracie, and he was rolling with some of the blue belts there.
Yeah.
I had no idea who he was because I was a white belt at the time. And then years later, I'm like, that was Marcelo Garcia. I really dropped the ball on getting a chance to roll with him on that one. I should have rolled with his ass. But yeah.
Red Wire gear. You guys going to be at Worlds? I'll probably be competing at Worlds. So yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be there then. If Kenny's there, I'm there. I'm being suspended, but I'm there. I'll be there hanging out, yelling.
There you go. We're going to be at Worlds.
We'll be at Worlds.
Anonymous. What do you do if you roll with a gay person in training?
Don't get hard.
Oh, fuck. I think you just roll with them, man. It's just a fucking person.
Yeah, dude.
And if they're weird and creepy, then
that's probably the open right there.
Yeah.
That's probably the open. No, yeah, 100%. I've rolled with gay people before.
Yeah,
and it's just what it is, man. I didn't think any other thing of it. Just kind of the same thing when you're rolling with a girl.
Right.
I'm not thinking anything when I'm rolling with females. Right. I'm not thinking oh man, my face is running there between her chest.
And that's the thing.
You don't even think about it. I'm thinking about hey man, don't try to choke me.
Right. If you were a woman and you were rolling with basically any guy, what do? They just fucking do jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
You're not thinking of that. That was a question that was an anonymous. I just left it there, but I also saw it on another thread, and more people were talking, and then someone asked me. I was like, oh well, yeah, I would just roll. Yeah. I would just roll. Whatever you want to do, man. So, I guess keep your back on the mat. I don't know. Honestly, just, yeah, man.
Don't get hard.
Jiu-jitsu is jiu-jitsu, man. It ain't a sexual thing. So yeah, I'm down for whatever. I'm going to fuck you up. So just like everybody else, or I'm going to try, or I'm going to lose trying.
Yeah. Good thing you put up there.
Yeah, exactly. No pink belts. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, brother?
Aim for the bushes.
Aim for the fucking bushes. Everybody, thank you. Happy Easter. Eat them bunny ears first. My name is Matt. This is Kenny. Follow us at our socials at BJJ Balance on Instagram, at BJJ Balance on TikTok. He will post something soon. At BJJ Balance on the YouTube. Let's get Kenny a skullet. Let's get Kenny some hair. So let's freaking hit that sub button. Call your grandma. Have your grandma hit that sub button. Call your grandma. Tell everybody in her class hit that sub button in her freaking knitting class. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Some of you have multiple Gmail accounts.
Let's just
follow us on all of them.
Yeah. Whatever. Buy some bots. Whatever, dude.
Yeah. Matt wants to skull it bad.
Let's get Kenny a skullet.
I think you're gonna be sad though. I have hair on top. It's just thinning in some spots.
Yeah,
in other spots,
you're gonna be a bad podium pick.
It's gonna be
bad podium pick. That's what you're gonna be.
Yeah,
you're gonna be the fucking Master World's bad podium pick. So yeah, follow us on our socials at Freak Party, at O's Nation. 20 million accounts reached. I hit the 20.
No shit.
20 million accounts reached this last 30 days. Thank you guys. We owe everything to you guys. You guys help us out. All the support. So yeah, we'll catch you guys around and we'll see you next time. Os.